Ladies and gentlemen, they got him. The FBI has cracked down, and they are taking down the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, the man who was elected by the people of the city of New York to lead them out of the anarcho-tyranny of Bill de Blasio, the avowed communist who destabilized what was once America's greatest city, which during his tenure became one of America's greatest embarrassments. If it weren't for the likes of San Francisco, maybe Detroit, a couple other places, New York City would be seen as the greatest tragedy of modern America. It's just there's so many other places that are terrible. Philadelphia. Just to name a few. I don't want to get into going through the list of all the terrible cities. Baltimore. The garbage, trash, Democrat-run cities. But New York City's up there because New York City, at one point in its history, was the greatest city in the world. And I'm sure there were reasons why people felt that way. I will never, I don't think, experience any of that. To me, New York City is a trash bin of wilted lettuce. It is a salad bowl that has gone sour in the fridge. And I don't think that Eric Adams has done much to make it a better place. Say what you will about him, though. He clearly is not someone of the same tradition as Bill de Blasio, who was actively fighting to make the city a worse place, to try and destroy what had been built by everyone who came before him. Eric Adams was no radical. He's no great harbinger of change. He's not like some, he's not like a Trump or something like that. He's just a normal, pay-to-play type of Democrat. And even that, I guess, makes him too far right for the modern Democratic Party. I have no doubt that his prosecution is a thinly veiled political persecution. He's being accused of taking money from the Turks. They're essentially saying that he's a Turkish puppet, saying that he was paid in discounts at a hotel. They're saying that his campaign was funded by the Turks. This is Russia collusion, but just with a different flag next to the candidate's name. I guess they didn't want to call him a Russian puppet. Maybe that label's gotten a little tired. If you recall, Michael Flynn also was persecuted under the guise of being a Turkish puppet. The irony of Eric Adams being prosecuted by the Biden-Harris administration for having his campaign backed by Turkey, by the Turkish government, while the same week that the Harris campaign has brought in Volodymyr Zelensky, the leader of Ukraine, to back the Harris campaign and campaign on her behalf, touring bomb factories in Pennsylvania, signing his name on bombs and saying how important it is that we elect Kamala Harris. I don't know about you folks, but I don't remember President Erdogan hopping on a plane and flying to New York City to campaign for Eric Adams. So who's the real puppet here? Whose campaign is receiving more aid from foreign governments? The president of Ukraine is a Harris campaign surrogate at this point. And they want to say that Eric Adams, oh no, his campaign it's run by Turkey. I don't like Eric Adams. I wouldn't vote for him. I don't think that he's cleaned up the city. From what I've seen, obviously, as an outsider. I don't live in New York City. But what I saw this morning, I saw people in the streets of New York cheering applauding his persecution. And what do you know? Assuming now this video might have been fake. I haven't confirmed this 100%. But I saw a video of people waving rainbow flags and wearing face masks in the year 2024. And they were cheering and they were all happy that Eric Adams is finally gone. Although he's not technically gone yet because he was refusing to resign. But, I mean, they're going to put him in prison. He's going to be cellmates with Diddy. And so some of you might be asking, well, why? Why is this? Why are they trying to take down the mayor of New York? You know, how does this help the Democrats during an election season to be taking down the mayor, the Democrat mayor of the largest Democrat city in America? Isn't this embarrassing for the Democrat Party? Well, according to Eric Adams, it's because he's not in lockstep with the Biden-Harris regime or with the campaign. You have to remember, Kamala Harris is the border czar. New York City has dealt with a lot of problems related to illegal immigration ever since the state of Texas decided, and other states, to start busing illegal immigrants from their state into the city of New York. And so people in New York and Chicago and other big Democrat cities, they're tired of dealing with illegal immigrants. They're tired of having to pay taxes to house these people and to take care of them. And the mayor of New York has been critical of that. He has said that the flow of migrants must stop and that the federal government needs to close the border. And who does that reflect poorly on? Well, that's right. It reflects poorly on the border czar, who's currently the Democratic nominee for president. And so it might be, in their eyes, more damaging to them to have the Democrat mayor of the largest Democrat city in America openly criticizing the central policy of the current Democrat presidential nominee. Essentially, the cornerstone of her legacy as vice president is the southern border. Joe Biden put her in charge of that. And so if Eric Adams is going to expose just how poor of a job she's done, then maybe it is worth it to them to have a Democrat mayor in prison, just if it means they can replace him with a more compliant and a more supportive mayor of New York, who can campaign alongside Kamala Harris and support this next administration. And so that was Eric Adams' explanation of these charges, and I tend to believe him. There's obviously a million other things that have happened since I've been gone. I've been very busy this past week, so I just haven't taken the time to record anything. Even as I speak, there's a hurricane that's going to be bearing down on us here in Florida, although I think I'll be mostly okay. Hopefully there's no lightning strikes while I'm trying to get this uploaded. But I've been dying to get back and discuss the situation with Hezbollah and Israel. I think it's been very interesting to see the direction that's going, and I think that Israel could be, even though I think things have gone very well for them so far, I've been actually quite impressed. I think that they're on the brink of making a terrible mistake. So I'll try and get back and discuss that again as soon as possible. But for now, I wanted to put something out on the Adams situation. That's my gut reaction before we have any more facts. It just doesn't sit right with me. You tend to, I think these days, know a politician better by looking at their enemies. And look who's aligned against Eric Adams right now. It's all the worst people in the world. And when the worst people in the world turn against you, that makes me think, you know what? You're not half bad. That's how I felt about Trump. That's what got me finally on Trump's side. I never trusted Trump. I still don't trust him personally. But as long as he is perceived as an enemy of the worst people in the world, you know what? That means he's got to be doing some good things, or else they wouldn't feel that way. So anyway, with that said, I will see you folks back here in the next one.